Good evening and welcome to this edition of Newsnight. My name is Charles Odongso, and this evening with me in the studio is Andrew Mwenda, CEO of the Independent magazine, and what?
Old man of the clan.
There he says it. Old man.
Mwenda of broken hearts.
Where did that come from?
Lord
now?
of the Kalangala archipelago. Inyanga Mugayo of Rwanda. So many.
We are not going to accept Lutoro on this show. But Andrew, you're most welcome back.
Thank
Andrew, can we look at whether there can ever be a true, free and fair elections in Uganda, or indeed in Africa? Is it possible in Uganda's case?
First of all, structurally, it is very difficult to have a free and fair election.
Why?
I told you yesterday on this show that human society is inherently imperfect. And a perfect society is impossible to create. So
meaning
we have
people can make mistakes. And
meaning we have to.
Human beings
This is what Karl Popper said, that we have to content ourselves with an imperfect society, which is capable of infinite improvement. If you say that from the very beginning, let me give you an example. Do you think the Monitor newspaper or New Vision can publish one issue without editorial mistakes in it?
There must always be one.
They will be there. But why do you think the New York Times or Time magazine can publish a magazine week in, week out without one single mistake?
By the way, these days I've seen some. Even in those top papers.
So in other words, the mistakes there would be less than the ones you would find in Independent, Monitor or New Vision. Why?
True.
Because the level of professional competence, institutional strength and the memory and all these kinds is still low. I'll give you an example of when they're registering voters. I keep telling Ugandans, when you hear of ghost voters, rather of underage voters, it does not necessarily have to be because of a deliberate intention on the part of people in power or out of power to rig elections. Why? Just imagine you are a Uganda Electoral Commission official in Bundibugyo. A man comes with his wife and they have 2 children. They come to register.
The story of the underage man who is a father.
This guy could be 17 and his wife is 16 and they have a child already. And the Electoral Commission official must make a discretion to judge. This person does not know when they were born. They do not know their birthday. So they cannot estimate their age. So if you are EC official, what do you do to this person? Do you chase him away? This married man and with your child? But they may not be 18. So I take it for granted, by the way, that you will have more voters than the people who are aged 18. Why? Because of the structure of our society. 2, look at our institutions, private and public. Even look at everywhere, including here in NTV. So the bottom line is this, that even with all the good intentions, just institutional incompetence in Uganda would not allow a free and fair election in many African countries. So
brilliant. Let's bring it to the point.
I come to the second point of political will.
Yes.
Is there political will
to have free and fair elections? And
even in Sweden, there can never be political will to have a free and fair election. A free and fair election will only happen when there is a balance of power between the contending political forces. If the powers are so strong and evenly balanced, so that none of them is too strong to leverage the weight of the state on its side, it will be very difficult for you to rig. You see, the Republicans in America actually can't afford to tilt sometimes the power of the state on their side.
Against the DP.
Against the Democratic Party, and that's why they rigged, I'll go out of the election. That's why every day Republicans in America rig. But if you go to a country like Germany or Sweden, the balance of power between the different contending political forces is such that anyone who tries to rig, the penalty will be so, the costs of rigging are so high, they cannot attempt it even for their own reputation. So here, we are in a process of development. At a particular point, we will reach a level in Africa when elections can be fairly free and fair. Let's
bring it down to the real issues that we are talking about here. You have seen the circus, you know, the unfortunate thing last week and this week, you know, the deliberate distribution of money to popularize Museveni's candidature, Museveni's sole candidature. In Nebi, it has happened. I saw it in Lira, I saw it in Gulu, I saw it in Ajumani, Moses Ali, and all that. Distribution of 17,000 shillings, 2,000 shillings to buy, you know, favor for votes. Do you think that is the... Yes, I was surprised that ministers are the ones, you know, superintending over the distribution of these monies, and it looks a bribe. What other word can you give it?
Well, I am surprised that you're surprised. I told you previously here that majorities can never rule. So across historical time and geographic space, we have had only 3 more successful governments. We have had rule by religious clerics, which is called theocracies, a rule by birth, which is called an aristocracy, or rule by
monarchy.
That's, yes, monarchy. That's an aristocracy. A monarchy is one person, but around the monarch is an aristocracy, people who have privileges as a result of their birth. And then the third system of government you have is a democracy, which is ruled by money. So Uganda is in a democracy, and that is money. Wherever you go, even in America and even Sweden, money matters when it comes to politics. The way that money is distributed in America may be different from the way it is distributed in Uganda, but money will be distributed anyway. Now, in Uganda, because you do not have effective institutional channels through which money can be distributed, that's why you see, and also because of low levels of per capita income anyway, that's why you see individuals receiving cash payments of 10,000, 15,000.
What should be the way forward now as we go into 2016, when now the different contending parties are all coming together?
When I was young and idealistic, I would have told you what ought to happen.
Yeah.
But I think now that I am old and wise, I should tell you what is going to happen. We are going to see money flow. This is the time. If you want to earn a living, 2016 money is going to flow, and you should, if you want to get money from the politicians, encourage President Museveni and Babas to keep quarreling, the opposition to be much stronger. The stronger the opposition, the more the incentive, the higher the incentive for NRM to use a lot of money to buy support.
I really know, I can see it from your face that you don't mean that. What you actually mean is that you hope there is optimism and that it is made better. Thank you so much, and that was Newsnight. My name is Charles Odongso.